How do you keep working your business when you don't want to, you don't care to, or you can't because of circumstances? Today, let's talk a little bit about apathy. That also means, like, I think the country song says your give a damn is busted. So that's apathy. You really don't care. Apathy, grief. Maybe you've gone through a loss, a divorce, a big health scare, something with your kids, or like in my case, the loss of my dad recently. So maybe you're dealing with some grief, or maybe you have a chronic health condition and you say, well, how can I keep my business going when I'm not motivated, when I'm not feeling great, when I just don't have the effort, when I feel like I'm walking through mud? I've coached thousands and thousands of business owners over the last 20 plus years, and this is not a new topic. So let me help. Let me help you from a place of how I've coached them. Let me help from a place of how I coach my own family members and then my own self. First of all, the first key, the first really important thing is to give yourself some grace. Inside of that grace, I want you to set some minimums. Now, you might think that's really weird for a success coach and a motivational speaker to say, make sure you set some minimums. But you know how on the vitamin bottle, it says there are minimum daily allowances of like how much vitamin C you need, how much vitamin D, all that. I feel like in your business, you really need to set some minimums of what you're going to do on a daily basis. And when I coached Kim on this several years ago, she was trying to move from a stuck spot and a really grieving spot. And I said, Kim, I want you to do these three things. Your minimum daily allowance is this. Number one, do something kind for yourself every day. Meaning some nice lotion, listen to a song that helps you, watch one episode, not a series. Don't binge the whole series, an episode of your favorite, wear something nice, wear the good earrings, talk kindly to yourself. One nice thing for yourself every day, bare minimum. Number two, get out of the house, walk to the mailbox, walk to the backyard, look at some sunlight, walk down your street. I'm not saying you have to go be in public. I'm not saying that. You might not be ready for that. But walk outside of your house every single day. Do the effort of walking outside of your house. And number three, one action on your business a day, just one. Maybe send a couple of postcards. Maybe send some texts. Maybe you respond to some emails. Maybe comment on somebody else's content. Maybe write a little something. Maybe restart a promotion. One something. That's your bare minimum. Now, what you do is you give yourself permission to stop after those three things if it's too hard, if it's too heavy, if it's too much, if you just can't anymore. You can still celebrate that you did your minimums. Sometimes what will happen is your momentum will pick up and you'll do more things. So in Kim's case, I remember one really specific day that the nice thing she was going to do for herself was get her manicure done. She had not had her nails done since this catastrophic event, and she knew she needed them done. And so she went to do something nice for herself and got outside at the same time. So two birds, one stone, right? And then while she was out, she also had one of her adult kids was getting married, I believe. And so she went to look for Mother of the Bride dresses at the same time. When she got home, she had a little energy and momentum and wasn't feeling as stuck and did some things for her business. The key is minimum daily allowance. And then you don't beat yourself up if you don't do more than that. You celebrate that you've done that. Now, the second thing I'm going to tell you about grief and apathy and being stuck and dealing with mental health, all those things, is that you don't have to set the big goals. You don't have to set a big motivational goal. You don't have to be wanting to do a big achievement. You can really just chip away at what you know to be the right next thing. And you can do that with your one business thing a day, right? So if you aren't feeling like, I don't want to bump up my revenue right now, I'm just okay if it stays where it is, well, great. What's the next thing you need to do? Do that. Do you need to make an offer? Do you need to follow up with that prospect? What do you need to do? Just do the right next thing. And when you stack up enough of those small right next things, your motivation will come back, your momentum will come back, and your confidence will come back. So I get it. We can do hard things, except on the days we can't do hard things. And on those days, we're going to do those minimum things. So I just want to challenge you to show some grace to yourself, to set those minimums, be able to celebrate when you do those minimums. Some days let the momentum carry you into more, and don't worry about the big goals right now. Don't worry about the big achievements right now. Right now, you just focus on the day-to-day, step by step. No baby learns to walk by setting a goal for a marathon, right? We can laugh at that because that's silly. Babies are like, okay, this time I'm gonna stand up and not fall down. Oops, that wasn't it. Let me try it again. This time I'm gonna take 2 steps instead of 1 step, right? Oh, maybe this walking's not for me. But also importantly, maybe my third point today is this probably isn't a time for big decisions. If you're in grief, if you're in apathy, if you're really struggling with some things health-wise, mental health-wise, or circumstantially, this might not be a time for big decisions. So maybe you look at the calendar and you say, okay, 3 months from today, I can make a decision to quit that or start that or whatever. But today's not going to be the day. Today, I'm not going to go do a radical change to my hair. Today, I'm not going to make a radical relationship decision. Today, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do baby steps. I'm going to take care of me, but I'm also going to meet those minimum daily requirements. What's bubbling up for you on that? What is that causing you to think? Does that relieve some pressure? Does that give you some permission to be kind to yourself, but to keep moving forward? I don't want you to sink. But it's not maybe time for laps either. Maybe we're just going to dog paddle a bit and we're going to celebrate that. I appreciate you. I'm glad you're here. You've got this. You know what? We've got this, and we're going to carry on.